Hey guys, good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome, welcome, welcome to International Women's Week, where we're going to be celebrating you all week. And guys, what an amazing thing. What an amazing thing to have an entire week that's just about you women and me women and us women and them women's, because we're who makes the world go round. And initially, we thought about, in light of everything that's going on, not doing it this week. And, we said, why not do it this week? I think this is a great time to stop. And in a minute, we may be forced to stop and sit still and really get an opportunity like no other time ever to accomplish some of the things we've wanted to do all of our lives. And for some of you guys, it is write a book. And I know me personally, 17 years, y'all, this was my dream before I wrote my first book. And sometimes I feel as if I would just move sooner, if I'd have just moved faster, what took me so long to get here?
Wow.
And then I realized everything for a reason, everything in divine timing, and not forgiving myself for the procrastination. But not until you're ready will you accomplish those things that are for you. You have to be ready. And so in light of everything that's going on right now, some of you are probably sitting back and saying to yourself, I should have been more ready. I should have been more equipped. I should have been more prepared.
Yeah.
And the truth of that is nothing you could do about shouldas, wouldas, and couldas.
Yep. Nope.
Is nothing you can do about them but let them get you stressed out. It's nothing you can do about them but let them make you feel some kind of way. But now is an opportunity for us to look forward and for us to really celebrate what is going in our favor. Everything's not bad. The coronavirus is bad, but I don't know nobody sick. Jamie, you sick?
Not with that. My body.
Right.
But I've been sick before the coronavirus. Right. I've been doing a lot of traveling, and so my body is going through some real transition right now. But the coronavirus is the last thing on my mind as far as health-wise. What I'm more concerned about is how everybody else is responding.
Right.
And making sure me and my family is safe, because when people react out of a panic, they do stupid stuff.
Absolutely. Well, there's two different levels to this. And guys, if you're joining us this morning, all week long, we're going to be celebrating women. So we're going to be giving you the tools you need to make it through this pandemic, to help your family, and the tools you need to come out of life more successful. So make sure you're not only registered to receive the replays at bit.ly/yourday2020, but make sure you're joining us every morning at 7:30-ish and about 8:30-ish p.m. for the After Dark segment. But one thing certain and two things sure, this is that point where you get to where you say, I can't do nothing but pray.
Right.
And everybody got to make their own choices. Even the people who are refusing to get ready because they say, oh, ain't nothing going to happen.
Right.
That's even a source of stress.
It is.
That's them saying, I can't wrap my mind around what's happening.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just act like it's not happening. That's a coping mechanism. And the same with us and writing. I did the same thing with my book because I knew for so long that this was something that I had yet to accomplish. I made a whole lot of excuses about not getting it done,
Yeah.
When in actuality, it was a lot of times that writing that book would have saved me.
Yeah.
So this morning, Jamie's going to be talking about 5 ways that you can monetize your book writing. And if your job puts you off work for 2 or 3 weeks, then you need to take that 2 or 3 weeks and get that book written.
Mm-hmm.
If your job puts you off of work, what are you going to be doing? And there's 2 things you should be doing. Number 1, y'all still doing business as usual in Vietnam, Takina? Oh, okay, good for y'all. They wouldn't let you come back home anyway, probably, Mama. So number 1, you need to be focused on providing for your family today.
Yeah.
And that's making money to cover the gap. But then number 2, you need to be focused on saving yourself for tomorrow and making sure that you don't go back to business as usual when business returns to business as usual.
If
Jamie,
it returns to business as usual.
Huh?
If it returns to business
I don't think we're going to ever be able to go back where we came from.
Yeah. A lot is changing.
I think that so much is going to be forced into change. These grocery stores going to have to get robots in there sooner rather than later.
Yep.
To keep shipments going out. Amazon going to need robots sooner rather than later. I know that's right. Takina said, I stay ready because you helped me. I know that's right. So this morning, I want to introduce to you guys one of my favorite people in the world, Miss Jamie Hopkins. And not only that, she is one of the most, and I don't say this because I'm biased, she is one of the most amazing publishers I've ever met. The care and concern, even though she get beat up, Poppy, leave them people alone. She is the one person that I know that is going to go the extra mile to help you get your book published, to make sure your book represents you with integrity. She actually published these 2 books by another favorite author of mine, Miss Berlin Randolph, who wrote The Rose of Audacity, The Audacity to Bloom, and The Rose of Audacity, The Courage to Bloom, a 30-day journal and guide for courage and confidence.
Beautiful.
And they're just, these books are amazing.
Those are.
Look how beautiful.
Look, I'm saying it like it's my first time seeing them.
But well, every time I see them, it's like the first time.
It's beautiful.
And so if you want to have an amazing publication that represents you and your brand, and I think every business should, Jamie is definitely the person for you. Can you guys do me a favor? Let me pause for the cause. If you already haven't shared this video, invited other women, part of the problem in the world is that women don't have a voice. I'm just going to be honest. We don't have a voice in Hollywood. That's men's writing the movies and producing the movies. We don't have a voice in corporate America. Those are men at the head of those corporations making the decisions. We don't have a voice at the White House. When they asked them yesterday, in light of all these school closings, what were they going to do about the daycare? The man had to turn around and whisper to somebody, oh, we didn't think about that. You didn't think about that because you ain't got no damn kids that you've ever had to worry about where they going to go while I work.
Yes.
So we're letting men represent us every step along the way. And then when we wonder why we're underpaid, when we wonder why we're under promoted, when we wonder why we're under celebrated, it's because we've left this shit in the hands. You know, you can't blame them.
Yeah.
You know, when you don't have enough diversity at the table, whether that's gender related diversity, whether that's ethnicity related diversity, whether that's a background, how you was raised. We were just talking about that when we were talking about this whole coronavirus. Fool, I know how to make $1 out of 15 cents. I don't want to have to, Oh, before I know.
Oh yeah.
Oh, before I know how to take 3 chicken legs and feed 100 people like Jesus. Hello?
Okay. Hello.
And they're gonna have a little piece of greens and some beans and a little hot water cornbread to go with it for my five. Give me $5. I can feed 100 people. Hello?
Ooh, Coach, I don't know what hot water cornbread is these days.
They better know.
You better
There ain't gonna
know.
be no jiffy left at the store.
Come
Hello?
on now.
You
My
better
grandma.
know how to take you some white cornmeal and a
Yeah.
little piece of hot water, baby, and fry it up with now egg.
Little piece of sugar, just a little tad bit.
Just a ski taste.
Make it crisp on the outside, the round of it. Woo. All
So,
right.
guys, just so you understand, your dreams are important.
Mhm.
And society has us in a place where we are so worried and focused about our families and our children and our jobs and our men
Yeah.
that there's very little focus on our dreams and our next level. And Roll Fauntleroy said hoe cakes.
Oh
Wait
yeah.
a minute now.
Oh
Be careful
yeah.
who you calling a hoe. Oh, she
Who
talking
you
about
call the hoe?
who
Them
you
hoe
calling?
cake.
Yeah, she talking about hoe cake. It's just a little hoe cake. But yeah, that part. So, Jamie, what are they missing out on with the writing experience?
It's go back to what you just said. Women don't have a voice. And even in in some churches, not all churches, but some churches, they preach that one passage in the scripture that says women need to be quiet, right? And so you're constantly being told, stop talking about this, don't say this, don't do that. You're constantly being muffled. And one area where you cannot be muffled, where they can't muffle you, is your pen. And I read somewhere that, and especially like in the boardroom where women are not the most represented in the corporate America, that's why we're left to start our own businesses. There's more women entrepreneurs than men, y'all. I read a report that said I think it said 80% of the entrepreneur world are women-owned businesses. Why? Because that's where we get control. That's where we can step in and don't have to be muffled if you're not a government-owned control entrepreneur, right? If you're not a 501, 3C, BC, DC. But in other ways, that's one of the ways that you can control yourself. And that's one of the things that people say all the time. You can't make money as a writer. That's just a dream. That's the biggest lie ever. And I have 5 ways where you can make money. But before I go into that, I want to share with you, last year, 2019, I left a whole bunch of women back in 2019 who said they wanted to write a book. They contacted me. Some of them even put deposits down on their books, never finished the book. No matter how many times I went back and said, are you ready to get started? Are you ready to get started? None of them wrote their books. So they don't have a product that they can sell in these days and times when you can't go outside, you can't host book signings, you can't go and travel to these different places. You don't have a digital product now that you can sell from the comfort of your own home because you didn't fulfill that desire that you had to write your book. So now I said this as soon as it broke out, and we were talking about being quarantined. Oh, a lot of people are going to be right now. My inbox going to be influx. It's going to be full. People are going to comment. I'm ready to write now because they're reacting to the panic that's out here versus being proactive. But we're here now. So let's be reactive. What are 5 ways that you can make money as a writer? I think the most common way is getting a literary agent and being traditionally published. That's one way. If you want your book on the New York Times best list or wherever, if you want a traditional publisher, you're going to need a literary agent.
So can we just talk real quick? Because I have a lot of people that want to be authors. They want to be New York Times bestsellers.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think they realized the journey. Because I think it took Stephen King 13 years.
Took him a lot of no's before he got the yes.
Took him a lot of no's, and they was almost at the point where they were homeless. I think he said he had got his wife a blow dryer for Christmas that year.
Yeah.
And when he got his first, Stephen King, one of my favorite
Mine too.
writers. He's a prolific writer, been writing as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
But it took him a long time to get there.
Yeah.
What about the Stephen Kings that didn't make it?
Mm.
Or what about the one of my other boys, what's his name? Graham. What's his name? Is it John Graham?
Oh,
that wrote the Firm.
I think
John Grisham.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
John Grisham wrote A Time to Kill, and was a flop.
Yep.
And in the old school, he was blessed that a literary agent gave him another chance, because sometimes your first work is not your best work. Yeah. If you look at John Gordon that wrote The Energy Bus, that was like his 7th book. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't until The Energy Bus took off. But guess what? Guess what all of those people have in common? They're all men.
Yeah.
And a lot of times men will get them literary contracts before women will. So you got to decide how important it is for you to get your work out there. Because you're not guaranteed to even get an agent to pick you up.
It's not guaranteed.
And some of these agents want you to pay them that age.
And if you really want to flip that instead of getting a literary agent to becoming a literary agent, there's ways to do that too. There's in this process of publishing, there are so many layers, and each layers can make a lot of money. I was at a film workshop a couple of weeks ago, and the guy who was teaching it, he's a writer. And so that's the second thing. He writes movies and he sells them. And he was like, he makes like $20,000 for one script. And then he just keep rotating. That's how he feed his entire family, with just writing movie scripts, turning books into scripts and selling them off to networks. That's another way. That wasn't even on my list.
Well, we're going to add that as number 2. Because these networks nowadays are hungry for original content.
Absolutely. And
this
now
streaming service has made it possible for anybody and their mama to become a writer. And people are tired of seeing the same scrambled, repeated information over and over.
Yeah. Yeah.
So definitely becoming a screenwriter, telling your story or telling the narrative. Or we talked about being underrepresented as women. Hollywood is hungry for the story of women, all different backgrounds, all different demographics, all different ages.
Yeah. Last year, late last year, Netflix came out with they had a budget for new content that they budgeted for people like you, the underdog, if you want to call yourself, for your story, but if you don't write it, what do they have? And listen, right now, especially in this era that we're in right now, most people are going to be live streaming. I know I Netflix and chill.
Some people are.
So
I'm gonna be on there let me tell y'all, when that quarantine hits full blast, I'm gonna be on there like TV.
You gonna be on TV like TV?
I'm gonna be on live stream like TV every hour on the day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, how y'all doing? And it's gonna be people watching.
Yeah, people are gonna be watching because that's what they're gonna. I have my TV on in the background when I'm working. That gives me that's how I can work. I can't work in complete silence. Yeah.
You can hear a pin drop over here when I be working.
I know, right? Yeah, it's like having even Cujo quiet.
Not lately, girl. When we be filming them advertising videos, he wait to the end and balk every time. So, guys, welcome to International Women's Week. For those of you who are joining, we're interviewing Jamie Hopkins this morning about what it takes to publish your book. I want to stop real quick. She's giving you 5 ways you can get paid from book, but I want to stop real quick and just go through the types of books.
Oh yeah,
because that's what people miss.
Yeah.
If you're in the beauty industry, there's a book you can publish. If you're in the massage industry, if you're in the health industry, the homeopathic industry, the organic industry, the food industry,
education, everything you can do how-to books, workbooks, business manuals, employee manuals, writing employee manuals. That was one of the writing things, copywriting for large corporations. You can write their employee manuals for them. You can write their technical manuals for them. I know a lot of technical people who only speak technical language. You can get paid for that intellectual property.
Anybody just said even tech.
Yeah.
If there's something that you know how to do, I don't care if it's tying your shoes or combing your hair, doing a roller set, doing a little piece of eyebrow, cooking a little piece of hamburger, there's a book you can write about it. And somebody somewhere will buy it. But if you never write it,
you can never
write
it.
You never buy it.
Yeah. You can't sell it. You can't make money. You can't.
Legal journals. Absolutely. So guys, you in times like this, you got to start to look around to say, what can I do to create something out of nothing? And that's writing. It's ink on paper that's worth money. What's the next one, Jamie? What's the next way to make money?
Copywriting for government contracts. Oh my God, that's a big one, right? All you have to do is get certified as a woman-owned business. And if you're like me, you're minority, woman, veteran. Those are 3 certifications that I can qualify my business for and certify my business for and get government contracts. Because there you can write SOWs, statement of works, RFPs, requests for proposals, write proposals for companies that are submitting proposals. There's companies hire copywriters because they probably don't have it on their staff qualified enough to write it so that it's going to win. But if you're a good writer, you're a good researcher, researchers. Oh my God, I love research. I'm a researcher. Tons and tons and tons of writing, reports, you can get paid for that stuff. And I remember when I was working for my 9-to-5 job, when I was a researcher, I would hire those who write, and we paid top dollar for writers to come in and write reports for us. We would go out in the field, collect the data, come back, give them the data, and they would write a report. And we paid top dollar for that. So you can get paid for writing government contracts. I think I'm on.
So hold on one second. So Soul Cedar Apparel said, I wrote a children's book about colorism. I need it edited where I'm at. That's where I'm at. For all of you guys who need a publisher or you're stuck with your book, contact Jamie. Don't keep waiting, because until you get to that point where you can put it out the door and make money, you've just wasted your time.
Yeah.
And one of the things, I don't know if this is on her list or not, is that a book is the jump off to everything else, courses, workshops, conferences. Once you write that book, you've literally built the solid foundation to a brand.
Yeah, that's that next level. Right now, I'm just saying, if you're a writer, these are ways you can make money. But with the product, you can make even more money. But until you write it, you don't have nothing to jump up from. And I think one of the first courses I ever took with you, Coach, you challenged us to write a book in a week. And from that, you built an entire course off that one book that we wrote in that first week. But if you didn't write your book in that first week,
You didn't have a course.
You have a course, right?
And that's another thing.
So much.
You know, writing is an exercise in, a lot of you are underpriced because you undervalue yourself, because you've never taken inventory of your knowledge.
That's good.
Writing will force you to take inventory of just how much you really know and just how much you're really worth. And it will force you to start to categorize that knowledge. And then it will force you to put a price sticker on all of that knowledge. And so now you realize that you didn't have just one $20 book. You had a $20 million intellectual enterprise on your hands, and you didn't know how to get it from point A to point B, which is the bank.
The bank. That's good.
And until you figure out how to do just that, that thing you're struggling with, money, is going to continue to elude you. So, Jamie, can you give them pause for the cause and give them your contact information? Because I'm going to challenge, and guys, even if you go to bit.ly/yourday2020 and schedule a call, if you want to get in touch with Jamie, we'll put you in, Jamie, because you've got to stop. You know, you don't know where tomorrow is going. So you've got to stop making excuses about not getting things done today.
I think writing is like the perfect thing to do from home if you can't go outside. So no need to just write and it goes nowhere.
But you might well write and make money. Exactly.
Make money from that thing. You're going to be home anyway. Might as well make money from it. And people will buy it. You think your story, nobody wants to hear it, but guaranteed there's someone out there. And I always give this analogy. When you go into a grocery store, well, probably not today. But if you normally, when you go into a regular grocery store, there's more than one kind of bread. So there's more than one kind of book for that topic. Somebody needs to hear your voice, your story told your way, because that's what's going to help them. And maybe you don't know that yet, but when you start writing, you're going to find out a lot of my clients come to me with one idea for a book. And when we start working together, they realize, oh, I'm going to have to write this in another book. Oh, I'm going to have to do something else with this, because it's so much knowledge contained in here, especially if you've been living for over 30 years. You got a whole bunch of lessons that you didn't know you got because you already in the got. So anyway, the last tip, oh, actually I have two more. The last tip, how you can make money as a writer. I was going to tell you how to contact me. Go to my website, guys. My website is so thorough. It has publishing packages. We have our services. We have pricing. We have how you can pay me. Okay. It's www.jaipublishing.com. jpublishing.com, jaipublishing.com. You can look and see what we're about. You can see our mission statements, our publishing packages, what we do, how we serve, the different
and you can get started.
And you can set up.
You can get started so you can get finished.
And you can get started. You can get started too. You can contact us. Everything is now. I stopped doing all the go here, go there. It's one place. Go to my website. Everything you need is right there.
www.jaipublishing.com. You can't finish what you don't start. So start your book. Use this pause as an opportunity to get something done. Jamie, what else you got on the list? How else can writers make money?
And the last one, because I already talked about doing research companies, self-publishing. That is the key. Now, the first one was literary agent, where you're having a traditional publisher publish and do all the work for you. The last one, which is another common one, self-publishing, where you do all the work and you get all the money. Now, here's the thing about self-publishing. Y'all know the lady who wrote 50 Shades of Grey? Mm-hmm. She's a self-publisher. She's the highest paid self-publisher in the world. And she started as writing little snippets and little short stories for porn sites, because that's where her audience was. So she didn't even come out on the Amazon bestseller first yet. She first started by writing. And that's the other thing. Start with blogging. I look back this morning at when I used to blog. I used to blog when I first started my business. And I have so much content. You can monetize your blog. There are so many different ways, y'all, out here that you can make money sitting in the comfort of your home. As long as I have my laptop and my coffee pot, I am happy. I'm blissful. And then,
Jamie, can you let them know though, they have to do the work and they have to be consistent?
You have to do the work. I mean, it's not gonna sell itself. I had one lady contact me. She wanted to do a journal, but she said she wanted us to market the journal for us. I'm like, what? So you want to write something, but you don't want to market it and you don't want to get paid. I don't understand that concept. You know, even the Bible says you get paid for what you work for. Man don't work, he don't eat. So if you have something, you have a product, you're writing something, you have to market it. You have to get in front of people. You have to go to where your audience is. And not all of your audience is on Amazon. Sorry, not sorry. They're not on Amazon. So where do you go to find your audience you're building a fan base of book readers. So, and those are some of the things that I help you with J Publishing House. I show you where they are, because a lot of these websites is not really well known because it's not marketed. You have to be in the industry to know. So doing the research of where your people are, where they're going to buy your books from, what's the importance of having an Amazon author page, right? All of those things we teach you at J Publishing House, but there's ways, and I just wanted to encourage those, especially those are writers. I had some people come to me and was like, I always wanted to write, but I just didn't know how to monetize it. There are so many ways that you can make a great living. And no, this is not the starving artist industry. And despite what you may have heard, this is not starving artists. This is not just having daydreams. There's literally millions of dollars out there for those who write. If you have a skill of writing, people, companies, government agencies, research companies, they're looking for you because you save them money on the end, on the other side of it. So, author, okay, you have 19 books. That's good. Are you flipping those books? Are you making money from those books? Yeah, guys. So if you want to be a writer, I gave you maybe more than 5 ways to do that, but let me just go back over those 5 points. Number 1, getting a literary agent or even becoming a literary agent so you can be traditionally published. Number 2, copywriting for large corporations. They hire people to do their employee manuals, their technical manuals, all of those research projects, which is number 3, copywriting for government contractors who hire copywriters for all of their research reports. Number 4, writing reports. I said this a lot, right? Writing research companies, right? And the last one is self-publishing. How to become a self-publisher and build a library of books, not just for you, but even publishing for other authors as well. So those are 5 ways to get out there and make money as a writer. Companies hire writers to build their presentations for them. I mean, there's just so many different things you can get paid for writing, but those are some of the ways. So I hope some of that was helpful for you. If you already have written books and they're just sitting and collecting dust on Amazon, there are ways for you can reboost those books and make them active so that they are selling and you're not, like, you do the work behind the scenes and then it becomes a well-oiled machine so that it sells way more than you even imagine. So look at Stephen King. Stephen King has been out here for years, and his books, like from way back when his very first book, still selling today because he built an audience. He built a fan base. So it's doing that legwork in the beginning so that when you get out there, you've already collected people who just want to hear and read your books. Not just nonfiction, but also fiction, children's books, cookbooks. Oh, I love cookbooks, y'all. Picture books, comic books,
Erotica.
scripts, erotica. I've written, my first book has some erotica in it, and it was amazing. So yeah, so just all different. And then depending on your audience, knowing who your readers are, there's so many different ways. But if you're stuck, get help. Get help by experts who know how to move that book and make it walk itself to the bank. So hire a publisher. Go to my website if you want to know more about me. Make sure that you register first, y'all, because if you go to my website, I'm going to ask you, did you register for the International Women's Day? bit.ly/yourday2020. Make sure you register to get copies of all of this, because even though we're just launching it today, there's going to be so much information that's going to be shared this week on how women can take control of their voice again. You can get back in control of your life, of your family, of your business, of your dreams, of your wishes.
One thing I want women to know is just because you're not doing it doesn't mean it's not being done. Mm-hmm. So just because you're not making $1 million as a writer doesn't mean that somebody somewhere is not doing it.
Yeah.
And we as women have to learn to take wise counsel. We have to learn to take instruction and understand that there is a whole lot of money out there that's being left on the table because we won't make an investment in the tools and the knowledge needing to excavate that revenue. It's like mining gold. I don't know if y'all ever watched the gold mining shows on television. Each and every person under the sound of my voice has a gold mine within them. Mm. But you must invest to excavate that gold mine. So when they find land that has gold, they don't just start picking up gold pieces.
Right.
They have to invest in tools. They have to get surveyors to come out and look at the land. They got to get people who have worked the land before. They have to hire them to get knowledge from them. And so once they've made the proper investment, then they're able to go in and pull out the gold to get their money back and then some.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because many of us think we know it all, we would rather die with $1 million in our hands and in our hearts than $1 million at the bank, because we won't spend $5,000 or $10,000 or $15,000 that it takes to excavate that treasure. I don't care who you are. If you are a treasure hunter, if you watch those treasure hunting shows, they spend a lot of money on equipment. They spend a lot of money on expert advice. Yeah. I don't care if they're trying to get shipwrecked treasure, buried treasure on an island. They're spending money up front because they know that once they hit that buried treasure. Mm-hmm. So I think sometimes we don't believe in ourselves enough.
That's it.
To understand that once you make that investment, the Bible already said it's seed and harvest. Yeah. And what you reap, what you sow, you will reap. Even in yourself, what are you sowing in you? And that your seeds can't always be on Petey Pablo land or on Ray Ray land. Where are the seeds you're sowing in your garden? And if you wonder why that reward is not coming back the way it should, maybe you need to start sowing seed in yourself. So guys, if you're interested in doing something different, you're ready to sow seed, grow your business, grow your career, find your passion, go to bit.ly/yourday2020. Once you go to register, it's going to give you an opportunity to get more information, to get a call about receiving your passion, or get a call about building your business, creating your first $1 million, publishing your book, quitting your job, all of the things that we really want and need to take our lives to the next level, they're there.
Yeah.
You just got to decide if you want to reach out and get them. So we appreciate you, Jamie. www.jpublishing.com. For all of you guys that said next year.
Right.
It's here.
Yeah.
Don't waste that time in your house playing Monopoly and letting them kids get on your nerves.
Don't do it.
This next season is about something. Take advantage of your time. Take advantage of your energy and invest in yourself. Guys, we'll be back with International Women's Day tonight at 8:30. Make sure you join us. Make sure you invite some friends. Text them ladies. Let them know to register at bit.ly/IW, your day 2020. And we will see you guys later today.
Bye, guys.